Most people eat eggs. They're the standard breakfast food in almost every culture. But biologically speaking, most people are eating them wrong. They overcook the yolk until it turns gray and chalky. They eat only the whites because they still fear cholesterol from advice given back in the 1980s that just won't die. Or they eat just one egg, thinking that's enough protein to start the day. And for us, Black women, there are even more layers to this story. We are bombarded with diets that were never designed with our bodies in mind. We are the first to skip meals just to get everything done. And we are disproportionately affected by conditions like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and fatty liver disease, all conditions directly tied to metabolism. If you eat eggs like this, you're getting basic nutrition, but you're blocking the very mechanism that helps your body burn visceral fat. You're missing the hormonal signal. However, if you change 3 specific variables, the quantity, the cooking method, and the timing, you can turn a simple breakfast into a metabolic signal that resonates for 24 hours. Today, I'm issuing a challenge. Try this for one day. I want you to eat exactly 3 eggs, prepared in a very specific way, at a very specific time. If you do this correctly, you will trigger a liver detoxification pathway that most people have never heard of. You will hit a specific anabolic threshold that protects your muscles from aging. And you will activate a satiety hormone so powerful that it physically stops you from overeating for the rest of the day. This is not a diet. This is a 24-hour experiment in metabolic engineering. We're going to decode why the yolk is the most important part of the equation, why runny beats hard-cooked every single time, and how this one meal can stabilize your insulin for the next 12 hours. Why is the egg so powerful for our bodies? To understand why this protocol works, we need to look at the nutrient density of the egg. But here's the part nobody talks about. An egg is not just protein. It is a biological capsule designed to create life. It contains every single nutrient required to build an organism. But there is a specific nutrient found exclusively in the yolk that acts as a degreaser for your liver. And for us, Black women, who carry a higher genetic and social predisposition to fatty liver disease known as hepatic steatosis, this matters deeply. Your liver is the organ responsible for processing visceral fat. When it becomes congested with its own fat, it slows down. This specific nutrient is required to synthesize a molecule that packages fat into tiny carriers called VLDL particles and ships them out of the liver to be burned by your muscles. If you throw away the yolk, you are throwing away the fat-burning catalyst. You are eating the protein, but discarding the instruction manual. Variable 1. The quantity. Why 3 eggs? Why 3 eggs? Why not 2? Why not 1? It comes down to a biological switch, known as the anabolic threshold. Your muscles are constantly in a state of turnover, breaking down and rebuilding. To trigger muscle protein synthesis, the process that protects your lean mass and keeps your metabolic rate high, you need a specific amount of an amino acid called leucine in a single meal. You cannot drip-feed protein to your muscles. You have to flood them. 1 egg has about 0.6 grams of leucine. 2 eggs give you 1.2 grams. That is not enough to flip the switch. You are feeding the body, but you are not signaling growth and repair. You're stuck in neutral. But 3 eggs? That gets you into the sweet spot. It sends a loud, clear signal to your muscles. We are safe. We have resources. You can prioritize burning fat over burning muscle. Eating less than 3 is a wasted opportunity. It's like trying to start a car but only turning the key halfway. A woman in our community shared this with me. I usually eat 1 egg and toast. I tried the 3 eggs without the toast. I sat down to work and, for the first time in years, I didn't look at the clock thinking about a snack until 4 in the afternoon. That is the power of hitting the threshold. Variable 2. The cooking method. The yolk must stay runny. This is where 99% of people mess it up. You must keep the yolk runny or soft, poached, soft-boiled, sunny side up, or very gently scrambled over low heat. Here's why. Remember that liver-cleansing nutrient I mentioned? It's called choline. Choline is heat-sensitive. And more importantly, the fats and cholesterol in the yolk are sensitive to oxidation. When you overcook an egg, when the yolk turns chalky and gray, you have oxidized those lipids. Oxidized lipids can be inflammatory. And we, Black women, already carry a heavier inflammatory load because of chronic stress, the stress of racism, of working double shifts, of the constant pressure to be strong for everyone around us. Any food that increases inflammation is working against us. When the yolk is liquid, the choline is bioavailable. Your liver can use it instantly to start the VLDL transport mechanism. And the fat stays intact, which triggers a stronger satiety signal in the gut. But choline does something else that is crucial for your daily performance. It converts into acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter of focus, memory, and learning. By eating 3 runny yolks in the morning, you are flooding your brain with the raw materials for mental clarity. You eliminate brain fog, not with caffeine, but with real fuel. This helps you make better decisions and resist sugar cravings later in the day. Variable 3. The right add-on quality fat. You can have the perfect quantity and cook them perfectly, but choline won't work fully if you combine the eggs with the wrong ingredients. To maximize the fat-burning effect, we're going to add one specific fat source. Half a tablespoon of butter, ghee, or coconut oil. Do not cook them in vegetable oil. Do not use canola oil. Those oils are unstable and inflammatory. By adding a quality saturated fat, you stimulate the release of bile from your gallbladder. Bile is absolutely necessary to absorb the fat-soluble vitamins found in the egg: vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. If you eat eggs dry or with just egg whites, you absorb only a fraction of these vitamins. You need fat to absorb fat. But more importantly, the combination of egg protein plus fat triggers the release of CCK, cholecystokinin. CCK is a powerful hormone produced in your upper intestine. When it is released, it travels to your brain and says, "I am full." It also slows down the emptying of your stomach. This is the secret to not snacking. If you eat 3 eggs with a little butter, you physically cannot think about food for 4 to 5 hours. You kill the cravings at the source. Variable 4. The no-toast rule, hormonal balance. For this one-day experiment, you must eat the eggs without bread. I know dipping toast in the yolk is delicious, but today we are creating the conditions for fat loss. We need to talk about the insulin-to-glucagon ratio. Insulin is the hormone of storage. Glucagon is the hormone of mobilization. They work like a seesaw. When insulin is high, glucagon is low. If you add the toast, you introduce glucose. Insulin spikes. The body will burn the glucose first. The fat-burning door closes. But if you eat the eggs alone, protein and fat, insulin rises only slightly and glucagon rises significantly. This specific hormonal state signals the body to release stored energy. You are shifting the body into usage mode rather than storage mode. If you need volume, add spinach, add avocado, add sauerkraut. But keep the starch off the plate for this one meal to keep the seesaw tilted in your favor. What about cholesterol? Let's talk honestly. I know what some of you are thinking. 3 eggs a day. Is my heart going to explode? Let's be logical. If eggs were dangerous, humanity would not exist. For the vast majority of the population, eating dietary cholesterol does not raise blood cholesterol in a dangerous way. The liver has a feedback loop. When you eat more cholesterol, the liver produces less. When you eat less, it produces more. The real driver of heart risk is insulin resistance and inflammation, driven by sugar and oxidized vegetable oils, not by eggs. In fact, clinical studies show that egg consumption tends to increase HDL, the good cholesterol, and improve the particle size of LDL, making it less likely to clog arteries. For us, Black women, who face higher cardiovascular risk because of structural stressors and chronic cortisol, the enemy is not the egg. It is the hidden sugar in ultra-processed foods, the sleepless nights, the chronically elevated stress hormones. The egg is the antidote, not the poison. What happens to your body throughout the day? In the morning, you feel a sense of calm, steady energy because you did not spike your glucose with toast or cereal. You don't get that mid-morning crash. Your brain runs on choline and healthy fats. Focus improves. In the afternoon, you realize you haven't thought about food. The CCK and PYY hormones released by the protein load are still active. You skip the snack effortlessly. This keeps insulin low for longer, extending your fat-burning window. In the evening, because you front-loaded your nutrition with high-quality protein, your evening hunger is manageable. You don't feel the need to binge. This is the protein leverage effect in action. Your brain knows it got what it needed. The protocol for tomorrow morning. 1. Buy the best eggs you can afford. Pasture-raised if possible, but standard eggs work too. 2. Cook 3 of them gently.
Keep the yolk soft.
This preserves the choline and the acetylcholine precursors. 3. Add a quality fat, butter or ghee, to stimulate bile production. 4. Skip the bread. Keep insulin low and glucagon high. 5. Observe your hunger. Pay attention to how you feel at 2 p.m. Pay attention to your energy. Pay attention to your focus. Most people try to lose weight by subtraction. I'll eat less. This protocol is about strategic addition. You are adding such high-quality nutrition that the body stops asking for junk. You are signaling the body to switch fuel sources by giving it the perfect fuel to start with. For us, Black women, taking care of our metabolism is an act of power. It is saying that our bodies deserve attention, science, and respect. We don't need another deprivation diet. We need strategic nutrition. Try it for 1 day. See if you can feel the shift. If you can fix your breakfast, you can fix your metabolism. Unlock the liver. Protect the muscle. Control the hormones. Most people react to food. You use it as a tool. I'll see you in the next one.